Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, Mixed Girl POV, where I share my point of view on what's good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Please comment in the comment section below. And also, please share this video. Let's grow together. Thank you so much. How I used to support former President Barack Obama. Let's talk. Obama, Obama, Obama. Where to begin with him? Well, I used to be a Democrat. I remember the night I saw Barack Obama's speech on TV at the DNC in 2004. I was immediately intrigued by him. I don't recall hearing of him before that speech that night. He intrigued me for multiple reasons. He was interracial like me. One of his parents were born in another country. So was one of my parents. By golly. His oratorical skills were off the hook. I have been blessed with winning numerous awards for my oratorical abilities, so I related and appreciated that about him. In that speech, he spoke of knowing that in no other place on earth was his story even possible. I wholeheartedly agreed. So when I heard that this guy, Barack Obama, that guy that gave that speech that night, was running for president, I thought that was super exciting news. I was like, yeah. He sold himself as the great hope and change for our country. Like hope and change had miraculously come together and were embodied in him. Like if hope and change had a baby, it would be him. Hope and change. He said that people's circumstances mattered to him. He painted himself as the answer to all of our problems. I thought he would care maybe even more than any other president before him about the plight of the American people of color in our country, because he himself had African ancestry. I thought if anyone could help bring us together, it would be him. He's Caucasian and African. He got my vote, and he ended up winning. It truly was a historical moment in our country's history. Many people celebrated him as the first African American president. And maybe that could be looked at in terms of the fact that his father was African and his mother was American. But for me, I celebrated the fact that an interracial person was able to become president of our great country. This showed that we were making huge progress here in our country. Well, during his first 4 years, he passed Obamacare, and I liked that. He accomplished, maybe one or two other things, but where was the rest of what I thought he was going to do? Where was that? Well, the first 4 years had pretty much, come and gone rather quickly. Then he decides to run for re-election. This time around, I was becoming a little disillusioned by him or about him. I was so hopeful that more would have been accomplished during his first 4 years. I thought to myself, okay, he didn't do as much as you were hoping that he would do. Do I give him another chance to be the great hope and change that he campaigned on? Well, I decided to give him a second chance to do all of these great things that I thought he would do for our country, for the American people of color who lived within our borders, and for all Americans. Oh man. It was during his second term that I began to look at Obama differently. Instead of gazing upon him with the hope and change, with the dreams that I believed he would help fulfill for our country, I began to have questions. I began to really wrestle with the fact that I thought he was going to be more, that he was going to do more than he really ended up being and doing. I believed that his accomplishments were too few and too far and in between. Instead, it was mostly all talk and no action, or not enough action. Let's be real. Having a beer summit with the African American man who was allegedly racially profiled while trying to get into his own home was simply not enough. I believed that he would help unify our country, and he let me down. I felt as though our country was more divided under his administration than it was before he came into office. But how could this be? How could this happen? He was supposed to help bring us together. he was interracial and he could communicate his thoughts and feelings so beautifully. He was charismatic, but he ended up being more of a letdown. I know that there were and still are a lot of people who thought and think that he was the most amazing president ever. And they still follow him devoutly. However, I had buyer's remorse with my votes for him, especially the second time around. I wanted a full refund, not a partial one. I wanted my money back. I wanted my votes back from this man. I had a family member, and she's African American. She shared that she felt like he didn't do anything for the people of color in this country. Just like me. I was so surprised to hear her say that, because most African Americans practically praise the ground that he and his wife walk on. I believed that our country was headed in the right direction, in the direction it was supposed to go, by electing this interracial, eloquent man. However, we didn't move forward as a country. We ended up taking steps backwards. And here we are today. A country that's heavily divided along racial lines oftentimes. We are a country that is divided racially along color lines oftentimes. He made it worse, not better. Former President Obama, you should have been better. You should have done better from one interracial American to another. So let's talk. Did you vote for Obama? Did you end up having buyer's remorse for doing so? Do you believe that he made our country take steps back instead of steps forward into our best future? Any other thoughts that you'd like to share? Please comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you there.